Welcome to the 2016 Detroit Autorama. This special presentation is brought to you by Pirelli Tire. Power is nothing without control. It's February in Detroit, and despite the snowy weather, anticipation is extremely high to see which car will win the very prestigious Riddler Award. Each year, hundreds of cars are entered to participate in the Detroit Autorama, and only 8 of those vehicles will be finalists to compete for the Riddler. Let's take a closer look at the incredible Grade 8 winners and see just how competitive this hobby can get.
We've built a full tube chassis for it. It has independent front and rear suspension. We've built pretty much hand-fabbed all the front and rear fenders, the doors, hood sides. We've put curved side glass into it. My name is Kenny Welch from Kenny's Rod Shop in Boise, Idaho, and I'm here at the 2016 Detroit Autorama with our 1937 Ford Coupe. Found this car located in Kansas, and it was a rough piece as far as that goes. And then from there, we've just kind of progressed, and we didn't start out to build a Riddler contender car, Grade 8 car. But a couple years into the build, we decided, hey, we want to debut this thing here. Let's go for it. Pirelli asked me this morning when they handed me the Grade 8, he says, you're running Pirelli tires, I assume. And I said, yes, we are, but the names have been removed on the tires. They got a smooth sidewall.
When Kenny and I started the project building the car, I wanted a show car. Maybe not quite thinking back then I was going to compete for the Riddler Award and get a Grade 8 car, but over the course of 10 years, that was our goal, to make the Grade 8.
My name's Joe Horace. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I'm here at the 2016 Autorama. I am a Grade 8 winner. The concept of the car was my thinking, and I made a simple phone call to Eric Brockmeyer in Florida, who is a major car designer in this hobby. His first rendering to me was incredibly almost identical to what you're seeing now. The engine is a 409 bored and stroked. The transmission is a Tremec 5-speed. We in fact went with old school. The 409 was an appropriate engine to put in a 61 Chevy, and I wanted the 4-speed look. In today's times, the 5-speed's a much better option because of the overdrive. My feelings upon being notified that I had made it to the Grade 8 was just absolutely staggering for me. To me, it's the ultimate in my hobby in terms of an achievement. It was my aim, but you never know.
Hi, I'm Jesse Greening. I'm with Greening Auto Company, and we helped Joe Horace complete his 61 bubble top, dubbed the Double Bubble. And we just received word that we are one of the Grade 8s, and what an incredible accomplishment. Ribbing in the roof is actually handcrafted from sheet metal just to mimic the Nomad styling of the Tri-5 era. So again, keeping close to the GM ideals. Yeah, the last 2 or 3 weeks of the build were, they always get interesting on a car like this. Even cars that were not going in a contention like this, but still, this one's at a higher threshold for nervousness and all that. And so I keep getting calls from Joe going, "Is this perfect? Is this perfect?" And and we had a little discussion about one little door gap, and I had to. He got me shaking on the phone, and that don't happen often. Usually, pretty cool. So now we have a big laugh over it, and it's good stuff. So.
Okay, the engine is a 5.4 Ford out of a Shelby experimental car. It's a 6-speed Tremec transmission to a Winters quick change, which is all that's chromed out. I'm Richard Broyles. I'm from Jonesboro, Tennessee, and today we brought a 1941 Ford pickup to the Detroit Autorama. Started this process in 2009, so we're roughly a little over 6 years. This whole body has been reconstructed. What's not been mate's been chopped or channeled, or the fenders have been widened on the front, narrowed on the rear. We have bottoms on the fenders. It's a continuation of the undercarriage. The undercarriage is all slick. The running boards go into the frame. It's a unibody construction. It's just a lot of work. My shop is not very large. It's a 2-car garage. I've added on a little lean-to on the side, but you know, it's hard to build against the big boys, and it's such a treat. The competition level here is just unreal, and to say we're thrilled is not enough. For someone who's built a car out of their home garage, this is one huge feat. I hope this is an inspiration for other home builders or people that build their own stuff to see that it can be done. This is a thrill beyond belief.
I've been building cars since the 1980s, a number of custom cars back home, and they've done really well in shows in Australia. And over that time, we've just built up the skills. Hi, I'm Chris Bitmead from Perth in Western Australia. Very pleased to bring my 1976 Ford Falcon Coupe to Detroit Autorama 2016. Transporting the car here was a logistical exercise in itself. I first of all had to buy a sea container, and we fitted it out specially to get the car in it. When the car was finished, we packed it up in the container at the start of December 2015, and it arrived in Detroit at the start of February 2016. So all up, the car was in transit for 8 weeks. We started this car project back in 2008 in my hometown in Perth. The car's been built in my shed at home, but I've had a lot of help from people, a lot of amazing people who are very, very good at what they do. So for me, it's a part-time job. It's nights, weekends. For some of the other guys that have helped, it's been their life, for the last few years. There's a fantastic achievement making it into the Grade 8. I mean, that's very, very unique. I mean, we're at the best show in the world, the best indoor custom car show in the world, and to make the Grade 8 is awesome. A lot of people have been saying to me that the steering wheel's on the wrong side. My response is it's actually on the right side.
I was able to buy this car from the original owner, and after a very short span of time, I said, I'm going to compete for the Riddler because this thing is one of one. It's the only one known to still exist today. My name is Billy Thomas. I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas, and I brought my 39 Olds Model 60 ragtop to the Autorama to compete for the Riddler Award. I have to give all the credit to Hot Rods of Andice. Levi Green was the lead designer of the car.
Winning the Grade 8 award was an amazing experience, gave us all goosebumps. That's part of our goal of being here, but the big goal is to win the whole thing. So.
The shop foreman, Mike, he's the man. He took everything to the finish line, but there was a lot of people involved.
So yeah, we're excited to be here at the 2016 Detroit Autorama. The drivetrain on this car is really special. It is a 455 Olds that Billy selected from Joe Mondello. It's got a Bowler 4L60E that's been extensively modified. Further back is the rear axle, which is a Winters Banjo Mini, they call it, and it's reminiscent of the old Banjo rear ends in say a 40 Ford or a lot of early V8 Fords. And it does have Pirelli, 335/30s on the rear and Pirelli 265/30s on the front.
Charlie Hutton is the master painter that there is. And it was such a blessing to me when they told me that Charlie Hutton was going to paint the car. I was just like, no way, no way. He said, yep, Charlie's painting the car.
I'm honored to be here with Billy and Debbie Thomas's 39 Oldsmobile, built by Hot Rods and Customs of Andis. For me, it's been an honor to be a part of an unbelievable build. It's all about passion, you know, and if you think about it, we're just a bunch of car guys that grew up playing with little toys, and these toys have just gotten bigger and a little more expensive.
A tremendous honor to be picked in to compete for the Riddler and to get into the Grade 8. Tremendous accomplishment. My goal for the last 5 years is to win the Riddler, period. I came to win it all. With God's blessing, we will.
The crowd reaction has been fantastic. I think anytime that you think a little bit outside of the box and take an automobile that maybe hasn't been built before into a hot rod and do something like we've done with it, it's just been fantastic. Hi, I'm Derek Sampson of Sampson Design, and I'm here with this 1952 Mercedes-Benz 170S that I built for Mark and Sherry Gooden of Marshall, Missouri. Some of the modifications to the car were we started out by actually cutting the roof off of the car, cutting all the floor pans, firewall out of the car, and actually started with just the area around the trunk and the pillars of the vehicle. From there, we actually wedge cut the roof 2 inches, laid the grill shell back, pulled the front fenders up 1 inch, joined those to the running boards to create the flowing line all the way to the back, and then started really just fine-tuning the lines and shapes of the vehicle. Building a Mercedes-Benz as a hot rod isn't normal, so we knew we had to do something real special with the car, but also keep it Mercedes. So we tried to do a lot of touches from Mercedes-Benz, like actually using the Mercedes Mystic Brown color on the exterior, but also using the really subtle colors like the pewter in the headlights and the little bit brighter brown in the wheels, and then tying that through the engine compartment and the interior. Also with the interior, we tried to use some of the European design from the 30s that they would use. So we used the real classy French stitching, used the pouches in the doors, the luggage in the trunk that actually covers the fuel cell, but really acts as a nice look to kind of go with the theme of the car.
My name is Greg Malvaso. I'm out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and I bought my 1940 Willys Coupe down to the 2016 Detroit Autorama. I got a call from Butch Patrico saying he needed to see me. Well, he arrived at my booth and he surprised me with an envelope stating that I had made the Grade 8. I was absolutely astounded and humbled to believe that this car that we manufactured was able to make the Grade 8. Actually, I started this car approximately 13 years ago. My intent was to build a real nice street car. During the 60s, that's all we did was street race. So I knew the Willys had to be blown to begin with, had to have a big block in it, and had to be fuel injected. The motor is a big block Chevy, 540 cubic inch dart block. It's got an 871 blower, and it's got heel-borne fuel injection on it. Behind the big block had a Turbo 400 built in order to handle the torque and the horsepower of the car. A week before the show was our final completion date. We loaded in a truck, we came to Detroit, and here we are.
Hi, I'm Mike Markin. I'm from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. This is a 1938 Graham, also known as a Shark-Nosed Graham. Being here at the Detroit Autorama and being a Grade 8 finalist, I'm still 10 feet off the ground. I don't think I'm going to come down forever. My wife is ecstatic. She's put a lot of years into me for this car. We're not a very popular car with the general public. In '38, Graham came out with this new idea of something really Art Deco and Spirit of Motion themed. It didn't go over well with the public, but when I saw it, I thought it had a great potential with some revisions and re-engineering to make a great street rod. Absolutely everything in this car has been modified, changed, or recreated for this car. There's only 2 pieces of the car that haven't been molested, and that's the lens on the headlights. Otherwise, absolutely everything has been changed. We have a big block Chevy 540 Dart aluminum polished engine. Pumps out about 600 horsepower. We've got an atomic EFI in here, so it's got the old carb look. Behind that, we've got a 700 R4 hopped up for the engine, and we've got a custom polished aluminum drive shaft, and in the back we've got a Jaguar-style rear end made by Kugel for us. I came to Detroit in 2010 and discovered the Grade 8 and got hooked on it and decided to try to compete at this level. This show has been where I've wanted to be.
Billy Thomas.
Well, when they called my name, I think I passed out, and I was so overjoyed I was actually numb. The field of competitors was unbelievable, and I knew I wanted the #1 position, but there's always somebody that, you know, they're more deserving or whatever. But I'm glad that everyone had the same opinion as I do. I'm the winner. I'm the winner. My wife went absolutely crazy when they named me the recipient of the award. I thought she's going to pass out, you know. And she was, I've never seen her that overjoyed in my life. I'm Billy Thomas, and I just won the 2016 Riddler Award. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And when we heard we won the Riddler, I was just ecstatic. It's such a tough competition. There's a lot of really nice cars here. This year in particular, it seemed like there was a lot of competition that was going to be neck and neck with us. And so we really didn't know to the last minute. You know, we all hope to win this someday. It's like winning the Super Bowl. But it's an amazing experience.
We just won the 2016 Riddler Award.
This presentation of the 2016 Detroit Autorama was brought to you by Pirelli Tire. Power is nothing without control.